I'm Mel Royer, the chair of the Division of Math and Computer Information Sciences. We have two departments in the division, Department of Mathematics and Department of Computer Information Sciences, and we work closely together.
Okay. Where is the department located? And if you would, when I ask a question, restate it, we are located, or...
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, our division is entirely located on the first floor of Ott Hall. The faculty sit in an office suite here where I'm at now, and then our classrooms and labs are surrounding this area, all on the first floor of Ott.
What kind of majors can you receive within this division?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked about our majors. We have two majors in the computer department, a computer science major and an information systems major. They're actually fairly similar. The computer science major, though, is a little more theoretical and intended for people who really want to do programming for a career. Information science is more of an applied major, people who like computers but want to apply them to a related area like business, for example. Then in mathematics, we have three majors. The mathematics major is a pure theoretical kind of major, mostly for people who are at least thinking about grad school or interested in math for the sake of math. Math interdisciplinary is a major for students who like mathematics but also want to do something else, and so a requirement of that particular major is to do a second major or a minor at least in another related area. And finally, math education major for people, of course, who want to teach middle or high school mathematics. We have some minors as well. Do you want to talk about those, or is this about majors?
Go for it.
Okay. We have a computer science minor and a statistics minor. I might say a little bit about that. We don't have a statistics major, but for people who really maybe want to have some background, like they're working in psychology or sociology areas where you collect lots of data and who want to know how to analyze that, that might be a possibility for someone in a related major like that. And very popular now is our actuarial science minor. People who work for the government or in insurance companies who need to predict what's likely to happen and how risky things are and so on. It's a very popular major for us now. The structure of our classes depends, of course, on the particular content of the course. So we have a little bit of everything. One thing to say is that all of our classes are small. The largest class that you would ever take in our division would be in the upper 20s. Many of them, most of them probably, are in the teens. The small class sizes certainly would be something that would distinguish us from state schools. I had 450 students in my calculus class. That's a little larger than 18. We have a broad background in faculty expertise. So I mentioned actuarial science. Dr. Mallison has been an actuary. Dr. Green, who has just retired but is adjuncting for us, has a previous career in biostatistics. Dr. Hoffert has worked in industry for companies like Boeing as a software engineer. Dr. Newman, another computer scientist, has worked in industry for Northwest Airlines and some other places doing consulting. Dr. McCullough has taught nearly 20 years in the Middle East, so brings a good deal of cultural perspective into our program. Dr. Lindsay and Dr. Kiddick are fairly new out of graduate school, and so they're very familiar with what the educational culture is. Let's see, Dr. Green again had secondary education. For information systems, for example, some of those people would often be database administrators or computer systems administrators. Large company or even a university like IWU has many people on their IT staff, and somebody needs to kind of say, okay, here's a situation that needs beefed up a little bit. What's the appropriate hardware and software to bring? How many people are we going to need on this job? And what's a reasonable timeline? And how do we install the equipment and train people and so on? Computer scientists quite often would be a programmer or a software engineer, or perhaps part of a large research team. For the mathematics major, one of the actually the largest employer of mathematicians in the United States is the National Security Agency. It's got a lot of publicity lately, all this development of codes and breaking of codes and developing secure codes and so on. We have a couple of alumni working at the agency right now. There are also jobs for people who are interested in like market research or financial mathematics, people on Wall Street. Banks are gambling, frankly, with their investments, and how do you decide what's a reasonable risk to take and what's too risky. The math interdisciplinary major, some of that as well, actuarial science. If people who are choosing the actuarial minor are typically choosing the math interdisciplinary major, so that's a very popular major for us right now. And a mix and match of these, so we have many people doing a major in mathematics, a minor in computer science, or vice versa. The whole division, the whole curriculum kind of links together, and people can pick and choose. A major and a minor typically can be done in 4 years. A double major is usually 4.5.